The Global Pride Gathering in Washington, D.C. A celebration of joy and resolve on June 7, 2025, Washington, D.C., became the vibrant epicenter of global LGBTQ+ pride as it hosted WorldPride 2025, a monumental event coinciding with the 50th anniversary of the city's first Pride Parade. Titled in media coverage as, "With Joy and Resolve, Paradegoers Celebrate at Global Pride Gathering in D.C., the event drew thousands of LGBTQ+ individuals, allies, and advocates from around the world to celebrate identity, resilience, and community while confronting ongoing challenges. The event was marked by a colorful parade, star-studded performances, and a palpable mix of celebration and protest, reflecting both the triumphs and struggles of the LGBTQ+ community in a politically charged climate. This response explores the event's multifaceted dimensions, from its festive atmosphere to its deeper socio-political implications. The atmosphere. A riot of color and sound. The World Pride 2025 parade in Washington, D.C., was a spectacle of exuberance and unity. Thousands lined the streets along the parade route, which stretched down 14th Street, culminating less than a third of a mile from the White House. The scene was alive with rainbow flags, sequins, feathers, and fans that opened with a dramatic thwack, as described by attendees and media. Brass bands boomed, DJs spun pulsating beats, and the energy was electric, with paradegoers dancing, cheering, and embracing the moment. The Washington Post reported that people flooded the sidewalks, spilled onto the streets, and gathered on nearby rooftops, cheering and whistling as the parade kicked off, capturing the sheer scale of participation. A standout feature was the 1,000-foot rainbow flag that led the parade, a powerful symbol of visibility and solidarity. Grand marshals, including prominent figures like Laverne Cox and Renee Rapp, added star power to the event, amplifying its global reach. Posts on X highlighted the flag's journey toward the White House as a bold reminder that the LGBTQ+ community remains vibrant, visible, and unbreakable. The festival that followed featured performances by artists such as David Archuleta, Cece Peniston, Tatiana, and Tony-winning powerhouse Cynthia Erivo, with the U.S. Capitol dome gleaming in the background. Despite the festive mood, an undercurrent of tension was palpable. The proximity to the White House, coupled with recent political actions targeting LGBTQ+ rights, infused the event with a sense of defiance. The Boston Globe noted that while joy dominated, anger and worry simmered among some paradegoers, particularly in response to policies under the Trump administration that aimed to curb LGBTQ+ protections. This duality, celebration intertwined with resolve, defined the event's spirit. Historical context. WorldPride and DC's legacy. WorldPride, one of the largest global celebrations of LGBTQ+ identity, is held biennially in different cities, with Washington, D.C., selected as the 2025 host before the 2024 U.S. presidential election. The event's timing was significant, marking the 50th anniversary of D.C.'s first Pride Parade in 1975, a milestone that underscored the city's long-standing role in the LGBTQ+ rights movement. WorldPride 2025 was not just a local celebration but a global gathering, drawing attendees from places as far as Bermuda, like 24-year-old Dalen St. Cyrin, who attended her first Pride Parade away from home. The choice of D.C. as the host city carried symbolic weight. As the U.S. capital, it's a hub for political activism, and its Pride events have historically served as platforms for both celebration and advocacy. The 1975 parade, a modest gathering compared to 2025's extravaganza, was a bold act of visibility in an era when LGBTQ+ individuals faced widespread discrimination. Over the decades, DC's Pride has grown into a major event, with WorldPride 2025 expected to attract record crowds due to its global stature. However, some business owners noted that while the parade route was packed, overall attendance fell short of expectations for an event of WorldPride scale, possibly due to political concerns or logistical challenges. Political undertones. Celebration meets protest. The 2025 WorldPride event unfolded against a backdrop of heightened political tension. The Trump administration's recent actions, including efforts to roll back protections for the LGBTQ+ community, cast a shadow over the festivities. Posts on X and media reports highlighted a planned rally on Sunday, June 8, 2025, to protest cuts to health research funding, particularly in areas like gender-affirming care. The parade itself was described as both a celebration and a protest, with attendees using the platform to assert their rights and visibility in the face of adversity. One X post quoted a participant saying, "We are united, we cannot be broken," encapsulating the community's resilience. The proximity of the parade route to the White House was a deliberate statement. The 1,000-foot rainbow flag, stretching toward the seat of U.S. power, symbolized a refusal to be silenced. For some, the event was a direct response to policies perceived as hostile to LGBTQ+ rights, such as restrictions on gender-affirming care and other protections. The Boston Globe reported that these policies prompted some individuals to skip the event altogether, reflecting the community's divided emotions, joy for the progress made, but worry about potential setbacks. Mayor Muriel Bowser and the National Park Service played a key role in ensuring the event's success, issuing a joint statement about their overnight efforts to reopen a park for the celebrations. Bowser also hosted a disco-themed party in the park, adding a local touch to the global event. Her involvement underscored DC's commitment to supporting its LGBTQ+ community, even as national policies created challenges. Community impact. Voices from the Ground. The human stories of WorldPride 2025 highlighted its significance beyond the spectacle. For attendees like Dalen St. Surin, the event was a chance to connect with a global community and celebrate her identity in a new context. Performers like Cynthia Erivo and Laverne Cox, both vocal advocates for LGBTQ+ rights, brought visibility to issues like representation and equity. The presence of international attendees underscored WorldPride's role as a unifying force, bridging cultures and experiences. Local businesses, particularly those along the parade route, saw a surge in activity, though some reported that crowds were roughly normal, rather than exceptional for a WorldPride event. Bars and restaurants bustled, with many offering Pride-themed specials to capitalize on the influx of visitors. However, the mixed attendance figures suggested that external factors, such as political unease or travel costs, may have deterred some potential attendees. Global relevance. WorldPride in a broader context. WorldPride's global nature sets it apart from local Pride events. Since its inception in 2000, it has been hosted by cities like Rome, Jerusalem, London, and New York, each time reflecting the unique challenges and triumphs of the host region's LGBTQ+ community. DC's 2025 event was particularly poignant, occurring in a country where LGBTQ+ rights remain a contentious issue. The event's alignment with Pride Month, celebrated annually in June to commemorate the 1969 Stonewall riots, added historical resonance. Globally, WorldPride serves as a beacon for communities in regions where LGBTQ+ rights are severely restricted. Attendees from countries with less progressive policies found inspiration in DC's open celebration, though some expressed frustration that the U.S., often seen as a leader in LGBTQ+ rights, was grappling with its own setbacks. The event's international draw was evident in social media posts, which highlighted participants from diverse backgrounds uniting under the rainbow flag. Critical analysis. Navigating the narrative. While media coverage and social media posts painted a largely positive picture of WorldPride 2025, a critical examination reveals complexities. The emphasis on joy and resolve reflects a deliberate framing to balance celebration with activism, but it risks glossing over deeper divisions within the LGBTQ+ community. For instance, the decision by some to boycott the event due to political concerns suggests a fracture in how the community responds to adversity. The Boston Globe's mention of anger and worry hints at these tensions, which may not be fully captured in the festive imagery of rainbow flags and performances. Moreover, the reliance on high-profile figures like Laverne Cox and Cynthia Erivo, while amplifying visibility, raises questions about whether the event prioritized star power over grassroots voices. The focus on the 1,000-foot rainbow flag and celebrity performances could overshadow the stories of everyday attendees, whose experiences are equally vital to the event's impact. Additionally, the reported lower-than-expected attendance suggests logistical or political barriers that warrant further exploration. such as economic constraints or safety concerns in a polarized political climate. Looking forward, the legacy of WorldPride 2025. WorldPride 2025 in DC will likely be remembered as a pivotal moment in the global LGBTQ+ movement, blending celebration with a call to action. The event's legacy will depend on how the community channels its resolve into tangible advocacy, particularly in response to policy challenges. The planned rally on June 8, 2025, signals a shift from celebration to direct action, with a focus on issues like healthcare access and legal protections, for DC. Hosting WorldPride reinforces its status as a hub for LGBTQ+ activism. The 50th anniversary of its first Pride Parade serves as a reminder of how far the movement has come, and how much work remains. As the global LGBTQ+ community looks to the next WorldPride, the lessons from DC will inform strategies for balancing joy with resilience in an ever-changing world, expanding the narrative, key themes and broader implications to meet the 5,000-word target. Let's delve deeper into several key themes, including the cultural significance of Pride, the role of political activism, the economic impact of such events, and the global LGBTQ+ landscape. Each section will build on the foundation laid above, incorporating insights from the event and broader context. The cultural significance of Pride events, from local parades to global gatherings like WorldPride, are more than celebrations, they're acts of defiance rooted in history. The Stonewall riots of 1969, sparked by police raids on a gay bar in New York City, catalyzed the modern LGBTQ+ rights movement. Pride parades emerged as a way to reclaim public spaces, assert visibility, and demand equality. In 2025, WorldPride in DC carried this legacy forward, with the 1,000-foot rainbow flag symbolizing a collective refusal to be marginalized. Culturally, Pride is a space for self-expression, where sequins, feathers, and bold performances challenge societal norms. The inclusion of drag sensation Tatiana and artists like David Archuleta highlighted the diversity of LGBTQ+ identities, from mainstream pop to subversive performance art. These elements resonate globally, offering a model for communities in repressive regions to envision their own liberation. Political activism and pride. The political dimension of WorldPride 2025 cannot be overstated. The event's proximity to the White House was a strategic choice, amplifying its visibility in the heart of U.S. power. The Trump administration's policies, such as cuts to health research funding for gender-affirming care, were a focal point of protest. This activism reflects a broader trend in Pride events, which often serve as platforms for addressing systemic issues like discrimination, healthcare access, and legal protections. The rally plan for June 8, 2025, underscores the shift from celebration to advocacy. By focusing on specific policy grievances, such as funding cuts, the rally aims to channel the energy of WorldPride into concrete demands. This dual role, celebration and protest, mirrors historic Pride events, like the 1987 March on Washington for lesbian and gay rights, which galvanized national advocacy. Economic impact of WorldPride. Large-scale events like WorldPride have significant economic implications for host cities. In DC, bars, restaurants, and hotels along the parade route saw a surge in business, with many offering Pride-themed promotions. However, the Boston Globe noted that attendance was roughly normal, rather than exceptional, suggesting that economic benefits may have fallen short of expectations. Factors like travel costs, political unease, or competing Pride events globally could explain this. Economically, Pride events often boost tourism and local commerce, but they also highlight disparities. Small, LGBTQ+-owned businesses may struggle to compete with larger establishments, and the cost of attending a global event like WorldPride can exclude lower-income community members. Future analyses of WorldPride 2025's economic impact will need to assess both its immediate benefits and its long-term effects on DC's LGBTQ+ business community. The global LGBTQ+ landscape. WorldPride's global draw underscores the interconnectedness of the LGBTQ+ movement. Attendees from regions like Bermuda, where Pride events are less established, highlight the event's role in fostering solidarity. However, the global landscape is uneven, with some countries advancing marriage equality and anti-discrimination laws while others impose severe penalties for LGBTQ+ identities. In this context, WorldPride 2025 served as both a celebration and a call to action. The presence of international attendees amplified the event's message of resilience, but it also highlighted the challenges faced by those from less progressive regions. The U.S.'s own struggles with LGBTQ+ rights, as evidenced by the protests against Trump administration policies, reminded attendees that even progressive nations face setbacks, challenges and opportunities. Hosting WorldPride in a politically polarized climate presented unique challenges. Logistical issues, such as park access, required swift coordination between Mayor Bowser and the National Park Service. The event's legacy could inspire future advocacy, from grassroots campaigns to policy reform, ensuring that the resolve of paradegoers translates into lasting change. Webb, Northeastern, given the potential for counter-protests or harassment in a high-profile event, the lower-than-expected attendance suggests that some may have stayed away due to the seconds. Conclusion. WorldPride 2025 in Washington, D.C., encapsulated the duality of joy and resolve that defines the LGBTQ+ movement. The parade's vibrant energy, marked by rainbow flags, music, and performances, celebrated decades of progress while confronting ongoing challenges. The event's proximity to the White House, coupled with protests against policy setbacks, underscored its role as both a celebration and a call to action. By drawing thousands from around the world, WorldPride reinforced the global solidarity of the LGBTQ+ community, even as it highlighted local and international disparities. As DC marked the 50th anniversary of its first Pride Parade, WorldPride 2025 stood as a testament to resilience, visibility, and the power of collective action. Its legacy will depend on how the community builds on this moment, channeling the energy of June 7, 2025, into advocacy for a more equitable future. The event's blend of celebration and protest, joy and resolve, will resonate for years to come, inspiring both local and global efforts to advance LGBTQ+ rights.